It's okay. It's about making sure that you are whole, that you are healthy, that you are at peace. Because when you are full, when you are truly in love with yourself, that love spills over into everything you do. Too many people are walking around giving discounts on their worth, settling for less than they deserve because they don't even realize how valuable they are. They accept treatment that's beneath them, relationships that drain them, and jobs that don't appreciate them because they've convinced themselves that's all they can get. But the truth is, you teach the world how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you keep letting people take advantage of you, they will. If you keep saying yes to things that don't serve you, you'll keep getting more of the same. You see it all the time. People stand in situations they know aren't good for them because they're afraid of walking away. They settle because they don't believe they can do better. They stay in toxic relationships because they think love means enduring pain. They let people walk all over them because they'd rather be liked than respected. But here's the thing. If you don't know your worth, the world won't either. If you don't value yourself, why should anyone else? A lot of folks struggle with this because they've been taught to accept whatever comes their way. Maybe they grew up in environments where love was conditional. Maybe they were told they had to work for people's approval. Maybe they were made to feel like their value depended on what they could offer others. So they carry that mindset into their adult lives, always trying to prove themselves, always trying to be enough for someone else. But real love, real respect, real self-worth ain't something you have to earn, it's something you have to recognize within yourself. You have to understand that you are enough as you are. You don't have to shrink yourself to make other people comfortable. You don't have to accept the bare minimum just because you're afraid of being alone. You don't have to tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace. When you know your worth, you stop trying to convince people to see it. You stop begging for attention, stop chasing validation, stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you matter. You walk like you know you do. People will test your boundaries. They'll see how much they can get away with. And if you don't stand up for yourself, they'll assume it's okay to keep treating you the same way. That's why setting standards is so important. It's not about being difficult or demanding, it's about protecting your peace. It's about saying, this is what I will and won't accept. It's about knowing that you deserve respect, kindness, and love without having to beg for it. Some people won't like it when you start valuing yourself. They were comfortable with the version of you that tolerated mistreatment, that said yes to everything, that never spoke up. When you start setting boundaries, when you start expecting more, some folks will fall away, and that's okay. The right people will rise to meet you at your level. The wrong ones will be upset because they can no longer take advantage of you. The biggest mistake you can make is settling for less because you're afraid of losing people. If someone leaves because you started valuing yourself, they were never meant to stay. If a job lets you go because you asked for what you deserve, it was never the right place for you. If a friend stops calling because you stopped overextending yourself, then that friendship was never real to begin with. The things that are truly meant for you will never require you to compromise your self-respect. When you know your worth, you attract better. You stop entertaining people who drain you. You stop accepting situations that don't align with your value. You stop allowing fear to keep you in places you've outgrown. Because when you finally realize how valuable you are, you refuse to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. The way you love yourself sets the tone for how everybody else loves you. People take their cues from you. If you treat yourself like you don't matter, they'll assume you don't. If you constantly put yourself last, they'll start doing the same. If you accept less than what you deserve, they'll keep giving you less. That's why self-love isn't just about feeling good about yourself. It's about setting a standard for how you allow the world to treat you. Too many people walk around hoping others will give them the love and respect they refuse to give themselves. They want their partner to cherish them, but they don't cherish themselves. They want their friends to support them, but they don't even believe in themselves. They want to be valued, but they constantly doubt their own worth. And then they wonder why they keep attracting people who don't appreciate them. It's because they teach in the world that it's okay to treat them that way. When you love yourself, you don't beg for love from others. You don't have to, because you already know what you bring to the table. You already know your value. You don't waste time trying to convince people to see your worth, because you've already decided that you're worthy. And that energy is powerful. It shifts the way people interact with you. When you carry yourself with confidence, when you set boundaries, when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, people either rise to meet your standards or they walk away. And either way, you win. People who truly love and respect you won't be intimidated by your self-love. They'll celebrate it. They'll admire it. They'll recognize it. Because they've done the same work within themselves. But the ones who benefited from you not loving yourself, the ones who took advantage of your insecurities, who use your self-doubt to keep you small, they'll have a problem with it. They'll call you difficult. They'll say you've changed. And they're right. You have. You've grown into someone who refuses to accept less than what you deserve. Loving yourself means setting boundaries without guilt. It means saying no without explaining yourself. It means walking away from anything that doesn't align with your peace, your happiness, your growth. And it means understanding that the people who truly belong in your life will respect that. The ones who get mad about your boundaries were only benefiting from you having none. A lot of folks are scared to set boundaries because they think they'll lose people. But let me tell you something, anyone you lose because you loved yourself the right way wasn't meant for you in the first place. Real love doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Real love doesn't ask you to shrink, to settle, to accept mistreatment just to keep the peace. That's not love. That's control. That's manipulation. That's fear disguised as connection. When you start loving yourself, some relationships will naturally fall away. The ones built on your insecurities, the ones that thrived on your self-doubt, the ones that only worked because you didn't know your own power, those relationships can't survive when you start standing in your worth. And that's a good thing, because the people who are meant for you, they won't be threatened by your growth. They'll support it, they'll encourage you, they'll love you even more for it. Loving yourself means you stop explaining your worth to people who refuse to see it. You stop proving yourself to those who are never going to appreciate you. You stop overextending, over-apologizing, overcompensating just to make others comfortable. Because you realize that your energy is valuable, your time is valuable, your love is valuable, and not everyone deserves access to it. The way you love yourself teaches others how to love you. If you let people walk all over you, they'll keep doing it. If you tolerate disrespect, they'll assume it's okay. But if you show up for yourself, if you respect yourself, if you refuse to settle, you will start to attract people who do the same. You will create a life where you are valued, where you are honored, where you are surrounded by love that matches the love you give yourself. You have to understand that self-love is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you wake up one day and master forever. It's a choice you make every single day. Some days it'll be easy. You'll look in the mirror and feel proud of yourself, confident in who you are. Other days it'll be a struggle. You'll doubt yourself, question your worth, and feel like you're not enough. But the key is to keep choosing yourself, even on the days when it's hard. A lot of people think self-love is just about feeling good, but it's deeper than that. It's about how you talk to yourself when nobody's watching. It's about the way you treat yourself when you make a mistake. It's about whether you show yourself grace or whether you beat yourself up over things that don't even matter in the long run. Because the way you treat yourself in private determines the way you carry yourself in public. Too many people are waiting for the perfect moment to start loving themselves. They tell themselves, I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll love myself when I get that job. I'll feel confident when I'm in a relationship. But self-love doesn't work like that. It's not something you put on hold until life looks the way you want it to. It's something you practice right now in this moment, exactly as you are. You can't spend your whole life postponing your happiness. You can't keep telling yourself you'll be worthy once you achieve something. Because even when you get what you thought you needed, if you haven't done the inner work, you'll still feel empty. That's why you see people who seem to have it all, money, fame, success, but they're still unhappy. Because self-love isn't about what you have. It's about how you feel about yourself when all the noise is gone. Easy to love yourself when everything is going right. When people are praising you, when life is smooth, when you feel on top of the world. But the real test is whether you can still love yourself when things aren't perfect. Can you still be kind to yourself when you fail? Can you still believe in yourself when things don't go your way? Can you still show yourself grace when you mess up? Because that's what real self-love is. It's not conditional. It's not based on achievements. It's not something that disappears the moment life gets hard. Loving yourself means embracing all of you, the good, the bad, the flaws, the strengths, the insecurities, the victories, and the failures. It means accepting that you are a work in progress, that you will make mistakes, that you have setbacks, but that none of those things define your worth. Your worth is not measured by what you do. It's not based on how others see you. It's something you carry inside you, something that never changes no matter what happens. Some days self-love will look like standing in front of the mirror and reminding yourself that you are enough. Other days it will look like walking away from situations that don't serve you. Sometimes it will mean setting boundaries, saying no, and putting yourself first. And sometimes it will mean giving yourself permission to rest, to heal, to take a break without feeling guilty. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when you hear that little voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough. But you don't have to listen to that voice. You don't have to believe every negative thought that comes into your mind. Thoughts are just thoughts, and you have the power to change them. You can choose to replace self-doubt with self-belief. You can choose to speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. People think self-love is about being perfect, but it's really about being real. It's about knowing that you are human, that you have flaws, that you are still learning but loving yourself anyway. It's about recognizing that you deserve love, happiness, and success, not because you've earned them, but simply because you are worthy. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to chase validation. You don't have to wait until you reach some imaginary goal to start treating yourself with love and respect. The most powerful thing you can do is decide right now that you are enough. Not when you lose weight, not when you get the promotion, not when you're in a relationship, right now, exactly as you are. Because the moment you start truly loving yourself, everything changes.